Motivation is a state of mind. 1 minute it can be there providing you with inspiration and energy to do something, and the next minute it can be gone. So in this book, you will learn ways to give your motivation a boost when you need it, and also to stay motivated for as long as possible. In order for you to master your motivation levels, it is essential that you know what motivation really is and how it works, and the first chapter will explain this. It is also important for you to know what causes low motivation levels so that you can take steps to prevent these from happening. Chapter 2 have you covered there. To get your motivation levels up as high as possible, you need to set goals. We have devoted Chapter 3 to explain how you can set goals that will motivate you. If you get this wrong, then it will probably be very tough to find the motivation that you need to accomplish your goals. The next 3 chapters are crammed full of tactics and tips for a quick motivational boost that we encourage you to apply to your life. Some of these are very easy to implement and have an instant impact. Others will take practice and time. Keeping your motivation levels high each day is the subject of Chapter 7. In Chapter 8 you will learn the best habits to keep yourself motivated, and in the final chapter you will find we recommended best practices for motivation. When you can develop strong self-motivation, it is one of the most important things that you can do, because it will maintain your interest and secure your commitment to achieving a goal or completing a task. People often have doubts about their ability that they have to complete a goal successfully or not. Motivation is what drives them forward, whatever obstacles and barriers they face. The reality of life is that we always do the things that give us the most pleasure with very little motivation. So you need additional motivation to drive you forward when you are trying to achieve things that do not naturally seem pleasurable to you. Self-motivation can often supply the required discipline required to achieve things that seem difficult or uncomfortable for you. The higher the levels of self-motivation that you have, the more likely you are to complete any task and achieve any goal. A good definition of motivation is the force that drives us to take action. We are born with certain drives instinctively, such as the motivation to drink water and eat food. If we didn't have these kinds of motivation, we would die of thirst or malnutrition. The psychological experts define motivation as being an emotional force that compels us to do something. They also believe that there are cognitive, logical, and social influences that determine a person's motivation levels. A definition of motivation that we recommend is that it compels you to make changes in your life and is the driving force behind this change. With the motivation tips that you will be learning in this book, you will be able to achieve anything that you want and become the master of your own destiny. The 3 components of motivation. To help you to develop your motivation, you need to fully understand it. There are essentially 3 components of motivation which we will talk about now. When you want to achieve a goal, just having a strong desire is simply not enough. You need a level of motivation that will enable you to overcome the obstacles that you are inevitably going to face. The 3 components of motivation are: 1. Activation. 2. Persistence. 3. Intensity. Motivation activation. The activation stage of motivation is where you have the desire to accomplish something and you take some action. As an example, let's say that you wanted to lose 15 pounds in the next few months. Your motivation comes from how you see yourself looking and feeling once you have achieved this goal. So the action you might take could be to start on a new diet plan, or just simply commit to eating healthily and cutting out the junk food over the next few weeks. Activation is anything you do to try and achieve your goal. Motivation. Persistence and motivation go hand in hand. When you first start to try and achieve a goal, you are likely to be excited and eager to get started. After taking those first steps, you may find they are really challenging and you feel like giving up. Persistence will help you to keep going no matter what. Modern life is full of many distractions, and you need the persistence to ignore these distractions and stay focused on achieving your goals. In order to achieve the level of persistence that you need, you will need to practice the techniques that you find in this book. Motivation intensity. Motivation intensity is best described as the amount of effort that you apply when trying to achieve your goal. It is possible for two people to have the same level of motivation to try and achieve the same goal, and even have similar persistence levels. But the different levels of intensity will determine which of the two people will achieve their goal the fastest. You probably know people that always move slowly and steadily towards achieving their goals a little bit at a time. We like to call these people plodders. Then there are the expediters who do everything at a rapid pace to try and achieve their goals in the fastest possible time. We recommend that you look for the middle ground between these two. You need to go faster than the plodder but not as fast as the expeditor. The problem with being an expeditor is that it is easy to make mistakes because you have not concentrated enough on performing the task properly. Expeditors can also suffer burnout very quickly. You do not want to be a plodder either, because things will not happen fast enough for you and you can easily lose your motivation. Understanding the source of motivation can either be intrinsic or extrinsic. Your motivation can come from within or it can be influenced by external desires. With intrinsic motivation, you want to achieve something because it will give you personal pleasure. An example here could be doing something for your partner because you get a very warm feeling inside from doing this. When you use intrinsic motivation, you are never seeking recognition from the outside. It is all about the internal pleasure from within. Extrinsic motivation is the complete opposite of this. You are looking for external rewards such as money, recognition, status, and respect from others, etc. There are actually three sources of motivation. These are needs, instincts, and arousal. Let's take a look at each one of these in turn. Needs motivation. There are a number of theories about needs motivation. The most obvious examples of this are drinking water, eating food, and sleeping. Instincts motivation. Humans have behavior patterns that are pre-wired and they will become activated when a specific external stimuli are applied. Arousal motivation. A person with high arousal levels is more likely to do something risky like skydiving than someone who has low arousal levels. In the next chapter we will take a look at what causes low motivation levels. Do you feel that your motivation levels are just not strong enough? It is often the case that people with high levels of motivation label people that have lower levels of motivation as lazy or even stupid. The truth is that there are a number of factors that can affect the levels of motivation that a person has. Having a low level of motivation is rarely anything to do with laziness or intelligence. If you find yourself with a low level of motivation, then the good news is that you can usually always fix this. By practicing the techniques you will find in this book, you will see your motivation levels rise steadily. There are four main factors that can cause low levels of motivation. These are habitual behaviors, habitual beliefs, health problems, and quirks in personality. Some people will fall into more than one of these categories, and that's okay. If you think that you fall into more than one category, please don't be alarmed because you can fix this. Habitual behaviors and motivation. A habitual behavior does not have to be based on a specific belief. In fact, most of the time habitual behaviors have no real foundation at all. They can be just something that you have done for a long time and you may feel that these behaviors are impossible to break. This is not the case. Let's take a look at a habitual behavior example. As a child growing up, you were encouraged by your parents to eat a lot of sugar-based foods because they believed that these were essential for your energy levels. Your parents didn't believe in healthy eating at all and felt that these kinds of foods would leave you lacking the energy that you needed. When you become an adult, you realize that healthy eating was the right thing to do. Even with the strongest motivation, you found it difficult to break the habitual behavior of eating sugar-based foods. It took a great deal of practice and persistence for you to finally break the habit after a few weeks. We all have habitual behaviors that we are slaves to and are difficult to break. The only real way to break these habits is through determination and persistence. So if you had the habit of continuously eating sugar-based foods and wanted to lose weight, you would have to break this habitual behavior first before you were able to achieve your weight loss goals. Habitual beliefs and motivation. A habitual belief is something that you have held onto for a very long time and you believe it to be completely true. You could have developed this belief as a child and over the years you have made it stronger. Not all habitual beliefs that you hold will be true or support your motivation levels. If you want to increase your motivation levels, it is important that you take a look at your beliefs to see if any of them are holding you back. If this is the case, then you need to look carefully at these beliefs and critically analyze whether they are true or not. In a number of cases these won't be true and will just stifle your motivation. Let's assume that you believe you are not a good-looking person and just average. You also are a few pounds overweight. How likely are you to be motivated to lose the extra weight if you hold the belief that you are just average looking? It is not very likely, is it? After all, it doesn't matter how thin you are, you have the belief that you are not good looking. So why bother losing weight? From this example you can see why habitual beliefs can really stop you from driving up your motivation levels. Usually these beliefs are not true and sometimes they are not even logical. If we take the example above, it is pretty obvious that anybody that is overweight is going to look better if they lose a few pounds. But this person believes that they are average looking, so they have no motivation to do this. Health problems and motivation. There are actually a few health problems that can cause low motivation levels. In a lot of cases, people that are suffering from low motivation do not think about checking out their health and do not realize that these are contributing to their lower motivation levels. If you suffer from depression, this is very likely to have a negative impact on your motivation levels. Depressed people would often stay in bed rather than get up and do something to achieve their goals. It doesn't matter how much of a burning desire they have to achieve their goals, the depression just gets in the way. If you feel that depression is stopping you from being highly motivated, then go to your doctor and get a proper diagnosis. There are many medications and other treatments available that can help you to overcome your depression. Some people suffer from brain fog, which can be due to brain inflammation. When this happens, the neurons in the brain fire more slowly than they should. If you constantly suffer from brain fog, then go and see your doctor or a specialist for a proper diagnosis. There are things that can be done to help you to overcome this problem. Do you suffer from low blood sugar? If you do, then this can definitely affect your motivation levels. Having a diet that consists largely of carbohydrates can cause you to experience spikes in your blood sugar and then crashes. Over a period of time, this can cause you to become easily fatigued. A common cause of fatigue and even depression can be gluten intolerance. This can be so severe in some cases that people just don't want to do anything. If you believe that you may have gluten intolerance, then ask your doctor for a correct diagnosis so that you can take the right action. Another health issue that can cause depression and fatigue is hypothyroidism. This happens when the thyroid gland becomes continuously damaged by the immune system. Again, you need to visit your doctor and get a correct diagnosis if you feel that you are suffering from hyperthyroidism. Personality quirks and motivation. If you have a personality quirk, then this can definitely affect your motivation levels. A personality quirk is not something you can easily change like you can with habitual beliefs or behaviors. A good example of this is if you have a poor memory. These days you can usually find help to overcome almost any personality quirks like this. In the next chapter we will look at how you can set goals that will motivate you. Do you set goals regularly? If you don't, then we recommend that you start to do this right now. When you set goals, you bring about an incredibly powerful psychological transformation that will do wonders for your motivation. Let's face it, when you are trying to accomplish something in your life that you know will help you, it is pretty easy to get lazy about it and procrastinate. I will do it tomorrow. Well, guess what? In a lot of cases, tomorrow never comes. This means that you abandon a task or project before you even start it. Sometimes this happens halfway through the project. If you are prone to negative habitual behaviors such as laziness and procrastination, then you need to pay particular attention to this chapter and set yourself some goals that will truly motivate you. When you set the right goals, you will find that you have a renewed sense of energy and an unstoppable drive to take action. Add passion to your goals. You want your goals to excite you to such an extent that stopping work on them is painful for you. It is very important that you add passion to your goals and that they are definitive. The process that we recommend you use to set your goals will motivate you so much that you will be chomping at the bit to get started. If you set goals correctly, then these will provide a positive boost to your self-image. They will energize you in a way that you may not have felt before. The process of setting goals can help you to uncover your strengths and weaknesses, which is very important for you going forward. Give your motivation a boost with goal setting. Don't have time to set goals. Think again. We are all busy, but sometimes you can drift along in life being busy without actually accomplishing anything worthwhile. When you set the right goals, you will boost your motivation and take your personal development to new levels. When you set a goal, it provides you with clarity about the future. You will begin to imagine a new and better life for yourself, which is very motivating. It will also help you to identify the areas in your life that you need to work on some more. To achieve a specific goal, you may need to learn and master some new skills. This can be very exciting as you are embarking on a new journey. When you set yourself goals, you are also taking responsibility for your life, which should really invigorate you. With this new responsibility, you will provide clarity in your mind and be able to avoid distractions around you a lot more easily. It will help you to become a better decision maker as well. If you don't set goals, then it is very easy to just drift along and lose your motivation for the future. Having a passionate goal will enable you to focus all of your decisions, habits, actions, and behaviors in the same direction. When you do this, your motivation levels naturally rise because you will experience a new burst of energy that is totally invigorating. The most important benefit of setting specific and passionate goals is that it gives you a real sense of purpose. This is truly inspiring and will work wonders for your motivation. No longer do you have to succumb to what others think is the best thing for you. You are in control now. Your goal-setting success guide. Okay, it is time for you to take action. Here we are going to provide you with a number of steps for successful goal setting. It is up to you if you want to follow all of the steps, but if you do, then you will find that you will boost your motivation and self-confidence. So let's get started. 1. Rediscover your past achievements. This is great for a self-confidence boost. Your task here is to identify past achievements and successes in your life. For everything you achieved in the past, you followed a number of steps. You used a process that was right for you to accomplish whatever it was that you set out to do. So ask yourself these questions: what approach did I use? What were the steps that I took? How did I get everything to come together? Relive your past accomplishments with passion and get excited. Realize that you have actually achieved a number of goals in the past and celebrate this. How have these accomplishments changed you? Remember that all of these achievements, however small, have made you into a better person. While you are thinking about past achievements, identify those skills and accomplishments that have got you to where you are today. Whether you realize it or not, you are setting and achieving goals all of the time. When you think about this, it will make you realize that you have been taking small but consistent action steps every day to get where you are now. 2. What is happening in your life right now? Take a good look at your current situation to determine exactly where you are at this moment. You can use this approach to identify those areas of your life that you are the most grateful for. It also helps you to discover the areas of your life which are not up to scratch. 3. Use leverage for motivation acceleration. The best way to gain leverage and accelerate your motivation is to apply the pain and pleasure principle. Assess the impact that the weakness in your current lifestyle is having on you and associate a lot of pain to these shortcomings. Now imagine your life in the future when you have improved all of these areas of dissatisfaction and linked pleasure to this. This will give you the necessary leverage to accelerate your motivation. 4. What is your life's purpose? What is the real purpose of your life? What are your passions? Take some time to identify the unique talents, skills, abilities, passions, and strengths that you possess. This will greatly assist you to clarify your primary objectives and your life's purpose. 5. Time for passionate goal setting. Now it is time for you to actually set your passionate goals and write them down. We recommend that you use a pen and paper rather than type your goals. There is something about writing things down that creates a real psychological change. You need to decide which areas of your life you want to set new goals for. So think financial, relationships, health, personal development, and so on. It doesn't matter how many goals you end up with from this process. Later on you can prioritize them. We highly recommend the SMART for ME goal setting approach. Here is how this works. Specific. You must set specific goals. What exactly do you want to achieve? Measurable. It is essential that you can measure your goals so that you will know how well you are progressing. Attainable. This is all about totally believing that you can achieve the goal. Realistic. Is the goal you have set realistic? Do you have the resources, money, and skills to achieve it? Timed. There must be a deadline for each of your goals. Focus. It is essential that you set focused goals. Don't commit to too many goals. Optimism. You need to write your goals in a positive way so that they are optimistic. Ready. You must be ready to start working on a goal right now. If you need to wait around for someone to assist you, then your goal is not ready. Meaningful. All of your goals need to tie in with your life's purpose. Exciting. All goals that you set must be exciting. They must provide you with an emotional buzz to motivate you at the highest levels. Motivation tips for goal achievement. Have you ever created goals and then didn't even get started with them? If you did, then you are not alone. This happens to a large number of people. The reason for this is that you didn't have the right level of motivation attached to your new goals. So here are some proven tips to develop the necessary motivation to see your goals through. Every day write out your goals. Do this in the morning. Write your goals out in full because it will help to keep them uppermost in your mind. We recommend that you keep a journal and use this for your daily goal writing. You can also record your experiences along the way and what you have achieved so far. Remind yourself of your goals. We understand that life is busy for most people, but don't use this as a reason to lose sight of your goals. You need to create reminders of your goals so that you can refer to them during the day. Here are some examples of goal reminders. A goal mind map. Use images to create a collage for your goals. Get yourself a countdown timer. These are available online and they will show you how many days remain to achieve your goal. Write an affirmations list for your goals and recite this morning and night. Be a consistent learner. Read up on everything related to your goals. Find people that have already achieved the same goals you want to achieve and find out everything that you can about them. How did they do it? What new skills did they learn? How long did it take them? This will keep your motivation levels high. Use others to support you. Do you have someone in your life that can be your goal accountability buddy? This is a person who is going to ask you what progress you are making and push you hard. Set up a schedule to discuss your goals with this individual once a week. If you can, we always recommend that you find a good mentor. This will be someone that has succeeded in the same areas of life that you want success in. You can use your mentor to learn about how they achieved their success and to discuss ideas with them. Small and consistent steps. Get into the habit of taking small actions towards your goals every day. This is a great way to stay motivated and fight off laziness and procrastination. Sometimes life is going to get in the way of you doing this, so if you miss a day, then just get back in the saddle the next day. Come up with some creative ways that you can make your daily tasks more exciting and fun. Maybe turn your tasks into a game. This will definitely boost your motivation as you will be doing fun things on a daily basis. Track your progress. You need to check to see the progress that you are making with your goals on a regular basis. Don't go overboard with this, but track your progress weekly, especially when you are starting out on new goals. It is essential that you perform these regular reviews, as you may find that some of the actions you are taking are not moving you closer to your goal. If this happens, you need to find out why and take the best remedial action. In the next chapter we will discuss how to find a motivation source that will work for you.